Okay, so in our last lecture, we were able to activate the user, and that's great when we are registering the user. But what if the user, okay, that user is not activated and they want to log in? What happens now? Well, right now we know that they can log in for sure because they activated, right? But even if they are not activated, okay, they can come to our application and just log in like nothing it's happening. Well, actually, let's go and say it doesn't match. Let's come back here. There we go. So they can log in. Well, we don't want that, right? We don't want this user logging into the application. So we need to prevent this from happening. So we need to hook into the authentication feature in our application. So what I'm trying to say to you is when the user logs in, when they are authenticated, we need to actually say, hey, listen, we need to check the column active, and we need to say, well, this column active says that you're not activated, it's false. I'm gonna log you out and take you back. Okay, so that's exactly what we're gonna be doing. So let's do that right now. Let's go to HTTP controllers auth, and we go to the login controller here. This is where we're gonna be doing this. But if we go to this trait and we look for there we go. You see that? We have another method that we can hook into, which is pretty cool. It's called authenticated. So let's copy this. Let's take it back to controller and let's just paste it there. That's it. We're done. Make sure that you import this on top. So I'm going to do that right now. So that way we have no errors, okay? There we go. All right. So we already have a method in our user model that we have created, a helper method that we can use for this. Okay, so let's go back here, and all we have to do here is say something like, hey, listen, if, well, actually we have the user here, and we just use this. If the user is activated, do this. If it's not activated, do that. Okay, so I'm gonna do my logic like this. If the user is not activated, I want you to grab that user and log him out. Simple as that. Okay, and then make sure that you import this on top. Let's do it manually. I never do it manually because I do it, my IDE has me really comfortable. Okay, so sometimes it's good to do it manually, so that way you can still remember how to do this. It's in the facade and it's auth. There we go. Okay, there we go. So let's redirect after this, and let's redirect them with some type of error. So let's redirect them to the login page, and here let's just say we're gonna redirect them with some type of error. And you know what I was thinking, in the registration controller here, instead of redirecting with an error here, because we are registering the user, we can redirect them with something like success, right? With success. So if we go back to our resources real quick, includes, make sure that you have that success there. And that success there, and have that success here too. Why not? Okay. That would be good. So let's go back to our controller. Now I got carry out. So this one we're gonna return with error, and we're gonna say something like you're not active, need the code, click here, something like that. And then here we can create some type of link. Let's give it my href, and let's concatenate something here. Oops. So first of all, let's see how this looks before we get carried away with this. Let's just put something here. But let's see how this looks first. And let's put something like resend code. Let's see if this works, because we wrote a lot of code here. We don't know if it works out, right? So let's make the user not active. I think he is not active, but he's logging in right now. Let's try to log him in. Enter. We can see that we get logged out, but we have no error here showing. Of course, that's because we need our code here as well. So I'm going to copy this guy, and this is an error. Okay, let's try this again. Let's refresh, make sure. Enter. You're not active, need the code, and then we have that link. But we don't have our alerts here, are not working for some reason. Has something to do with this here. Because this is not error here. I don't think this is a danger situation. Now it should work. Okay, let's try this again. I got carried away with the error word. Enter. Now we see this nicely. And let's register Peter or Pete. And I just want to see if my notification is working here. There we go, it's working. Okay. So we can log in, everything works good here. And let's build a link. Okay. Let's build a link. Where do we want to send this user? Well, let's go to the login controller here real quick. This link here, let's close this a little bit. Well, we need to build this route first of all, because we don't have that route. Okay, so let's make up a route right now, and we're just gonna call this code dot resend or something like that. Okay, so that's going to be the href, and we will also want to send the user's email, so that way we can grab that email later on. So let's concatenate it right here. Hopefully we can do this. Yeah, this should work. So we just say email, and then now we also need to concatenate. Since we're getting the user email when we try to log in, we should have that here. Okay, you see that we have the user anyway, so we can get the email. Okay, that should do it. I don't see anything wrong with that. Okay, that should work. And let's work on this code resend real quick. Okay, so let's go to our web.php. Let's build another route here and resend. And we can just say code here, just like that. Okay. code.resend, and that is going to code resend to this method. You can call it whatever you want. So let's go to our activation controller real quick and create a new method here. Public function. Simple as that. Very simple. Okay, so here we're just gonna die dump whatever we get here for that request, and just to know that it is working. All right, let's try this. Okay, missing required parameters in the code resend, because we don't need to have, let's go back to web. We don't need to have this code here. Oops. Let's do it again. Okay. Click on this, and as you can see, we were able to get to that link there. Okay, so let's continue this in the next lecture. I think we've done enough on this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next lecture.